In the heart of the Great Plain that links Moscow to Paris lies Poland, a land steeped in history and our destination for this journey. We start in Wroclaw, and please apologies for my pronunciation, which is probably not correct. Anyway, it is the capital of Silesia and Poland's third largest city. It doesn't take long for Bianca, Orlando and Dominic to notice something unusual. Gnomes! Hundreds of them scattered around the streets.
In the 80s, they started painting graffitis about gnomes all around town. That was a kind of protest against the communist regime. But at the beginning of 2000, those gnomes became so popular that they decided to make little statues all around town, and it's about 300 of them.
Tale of the Witch. There was a young girl called Helga, and she was very lazy and didn't like to do any work. She just was very vain. When the witch went back up there, she was already gone.
The city's prosperity dates back in 1274, when staple rights allowed it to hold regular markets.
This is Rynek, which is the old market square, and the building here is the Rathaus, i.e. the town hall. In the medieval time, in order to have a market, the city had to have a concession from the emperor. In the 60s, most of the gas lanterns have been modernized in Wroclaw, and hence disappeared, only with the exception of Cathedral Island. This part of the town is mostly owned by the church, and somehow this ancient but beautiful tradition has survived. Strange cross over there is the product of an artist that lived in the house in the 80s and 90s of last century.
Over the centuries, the city has lived under Polish, German and Hungarian rule, each leaving its mark. From here is a 3-hour trip to Krakow, a jewel of Poland, and its beautifully preserved old town, the Stare Miasto.
We are on our way to Krakow, which used to be the ancient capital city in Poland.
We are in Krakow. This is behind me Wawel Castle. On the right there's Wawel Cathedral, and all the royals are buried here, so something similar to Westminster Abbey.
Krakow became Poland's royal capital in 1038, and for over 550 years, Wawel Castle, and again apologies for the pronunciation, was the heart of political and religious life, hosting coronations and royal burials. Despite Mongols' invasions in the 13th century, the city rebuilt stronger each time, becoming one of Europe's cultural powerhouses.
I have a great time in Poland. First thing, there are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of, do you know what there is? Toy shops, where you can buy your sovereigns.
The Second World War brought darker days. In the Jewish quarter of Kazimierz, a once vibrant community faced deportations.
We are in Kazimierz, built just outside the walls of the Stare Miasto, the old city. It's a big Jewish neighborhood since medieval times. Now, obviously, the Jewish population after World War II is pretty small. Auschwitz is a few kilometers from here, but nevertheless, now there is like a kind of a revamp of the Jewish culture. So you can see a lot of museums, the synagogue being reopened, and the culture and the heritage being fostered.
Stories like that of Oskar Schindler remain as powerful reminders. Today, Krakow is one of the first UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Eastern Europe, alive with medieval charm and buzzing market square, and a blend of tradition and modern energy.
Born 50 kilometers away from Krakow, Karol Wojtyla recalls having many friends with a large Jewish community of his town. Maybe for this reason, when he later became Pope John Paul II, he attempted to improve relations with other religions, Judaism, Islam, and the Eastern Orthodox Church. He is still widely remembered as the most prominent figure of the city. We are in the small town of Wieliczka, which was a fortified town built around a very important resource, which is the salt mine, which provided wealth to the entire region for centuries.
Next, head south to the Tatra Mountains. Our base, a small town near Zakopane. Here we hike to Morskie Oko, the most visited and arguably most beautiful lake in the Tatras.
So behind me there is Morskie Oko, which is basically the sea eye, and it's the deepest lake in the Tatra mountain, 51 meters deep.
Crystal clear water, dramatic peaks, postcard perfect views, and in summer thousands of visitors each year. In the Tatras, a cozy family-run restaurant becomes our daily spot, where we fall in love with pierogi, especially the meat-filled ones. This trip is part of our missions to visit one Eastern European country every year. After Romania, Latvia and Slovakia, Poland has delivered with medieval towns, hearty food and adventures for every member of the family. Poland. History, flavors and landscape we won't soon forget.